9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
It is Friday, everybody. After a long, wild, and chaotic week, your PR princess, your timeless elite, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me, is here with you to end the week off. We know this has been a very dreary week, but we wanted to spend it with all of you because there was a lot that happened. We've had announcements. We have Worlds Collide happening. So much in the wonderful world of professional wrestling that we love. But if you are here with us for the first time, make sure to include your city and country that you are repping. And if you are new here, the super chats are enabled. So please continue to support this wonderful outlet that we have. Any donation help. And also definitely want to give a shout out to everybody joining with us on a Friday. But I am not alone. And I am happy to have one of our officials joining us, and he has some words to say after the announcement that happened earlier today. It's one of our officials, our councilman, Will PHARAOH.
Ladies and gentlemen, have no fear. Your councilman is here. It is Scumbag Friday. All right. We getting ready to crown us a new AAA champion and increase it, and the scumbag era continues. Can't wait to talk about it.
There is a lot to talk about, but shout outs to our producer from the future, Jillian and Maria, for chatting with us. And I mean, it's a no-brainer. You saw the press announcement that happened earlier today, and it is official. WrestleMania will be in Saudi Arabia in 2027. And this was a joint announcement made by Triple H. He made it official along with some of the other superstars that were there, along with Joe Tessitore. So this was an announcement that happened at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So it has been officially made, and we had many superstars come out like Charlotte, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Logan Paul, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, along with many others. And also Stephanie McCure was there. But yeah, we're just going to get right into it. And, well, I just want to get your thoughts on this announcement. How did you feel about them going to Saudi?
Yay for Saudi, I guess. WWE go get a bag. They most definitely gonna do that. It'll be probably the most extravagant WrestleMania we've ever seen. I know a lot of people are disappointed fan-wise. Because like, what does this do? What does this say for average wrestlers, viewers, even some of the casual fans? It's I think a lot of people are getting upset and are very pissed about it. And just kind of feel like this should have happened somewhere else. Like, why not London? I've been hearing like London thrown around a lot on the socials. I'm not thrilled to Sendil's point, but I'm not thrilled for the other reasons that I don't think a lot of people are bringing up. And really, it's more of the logistic side of it. Because to me, I'm going to be honest with you, this will be their first, and this is probably going to be their last WrestleMania. Because if there's anything you can count on, is Americans are going to be Americans. And so it's different when you're having one event, but you're having not only a 2-night WrestleMania, but a whole week in Saudi Arabia that's going to be filled with Americans. Saudi Arabia ain't going to never want to do this again. Because if you think about it, just from the aspect of how many people we know that will go there for petty purposes to give USA pride, how many people that we know will not accept the customs that go there? Because I already can see a group of people being like, well, if I paid this much money for this WrestleMania ticket, the plane ride to get out there, and this hotel, and I'm staying out there for a week. No, you're not going to cover up my lady. She going to get to wear what she wants. And we know that there's going to be a group of people that are going to act like that. So it's just, those are the things I'm just like, have they thought about that logistics wise? And then this is April, so it's going to be hot as balls out there in April. What does this do for like the women wrestlers that have to be fully covered performing? And this isn't like those times where it's like, yo, these are 5-minute matches. Like, this is WrestleMania. This is where you have to overextend yourself. This is where you have to show out. And so we've seen like what happened with Goldberg and Undertaker when heat exhaustion kicked in. It's just all those logistics of what make me not as thrilled about this happening there at the show of shows when your stars are going to have to show out. This isn't where you just kind of go put on a show for the people and then it's over. And then, you know, like they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, look at everybody facing the back when this was announced. No one smiled. No one cheered. You can see in everyone's face what everyone there, what everyone in the back in that locker room, and what everybody in the IWC and the WWE universe is thinking right now. But we'll see.
We shall see. I had some interesting thoughts on this because when I was watching this, I kind of knew from the look on their faces. And if you notice, all the women were covered up because one of the people that were there, if people did not notice. And also, I get it because people don't realize 2027 is actually the deal that ends with Saudi. So I'm not surprised that they want to have a WrestleMania on the final year of that deal with Saudi. And also with the fact too, they have Royal Rumble. And also you did point out facts too with logistics. I'm very curious planning and branding wise on how this is going to go along with promoting, because this is actually, and I don't want to say this is a bad thing, but even though there's not going to be much wrestling overseas in America at that time, this is actually a good opportunity for some other promotions in America to take advantage of the independents, because I don't know if there's any independent wrestling scenes in Saudi, but this would be a good opportunity for AEW to take advantage of that.
Yo,
with the fact,
if y'all did All Out in April, like All Out, and then I know y'all talking about not being petty. All Out in Vegas,
yeah.
At Elite, y'all, I promise you, y'all can sell out Allegiant Stadium.
We could. And also it would help a lot of independent companies too, because AEW's work with them, and also really thinking about that. So there is a void there, but if I was AEW, I would kind of take advantage of that. I mean, boss man, Tony Khan, you love to pour out money, sir. You love to pour out money, but also going back to your point regarding the women as well. I'm very concerned because they're fully clothed. We've already seen them fully clothed in the past events in Saudi. And also you mentioned the weather, because April, it will be hot. And I just hope they give them chugs of water or air conditioning.
Yeah, that's just my biggest concern. I'm not a person that's tripping about their culture. If that's y'all. We ain't got to necessarily agree or disagree or anything. But my more concern is, like we said, just the logistics of it, man. I want our stars to be safe. And the last thing I want is anybody getting heat exhaustion, especially when they picking somebody up or they're on that top turnbuckle going for an avalanche suplex. Like, I don't want nobody getting hurt. So that's and again, I know it's WWE, so I'm sure like they are going to work their best to take every precaution that's needed. But we know what it is, and I think that's what's leaving a bad taste in everybody's mouth, is that we know it's for the money. And even to Sindil's point, I know you're bringing up the FIFA World Cup, but you got to think about it. The FIFA World Cup is a different audience. The FIFA audience is a complete 360 from wrestling fans. That's a complete difference. So I just want to throw that out there about that. Like, yes, they did host the FIFA Cup and everything, but you are dealing with, and I'm gonna just have to say it, you dealing with backwater Americans that are gonna be potentially trying to come to Riyadh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're gonna be dealing with some rednecks that want to come to Riyadh. So that's the thing. It's like, yo, we cannot ignore. We cannot ignore that. But we know what it is. It's like, yo, this was money. They finna make a boatload off of it, preferably within the $1 billion range. We know that's gonna happen. I think as fans, and then too, Courtney, I love your opinion about it, is we were hoping it was gonna be somewhere else for its first time, not in the States. I think we were expecting more. Like, you know, that's why I've heard London coming up where it's like, yo, there's been so many places we've gone where it's like, yo, why not have it here? But again, we know what it's about. And it's just kind of like, as much money as they're going to make, it feels like such a cheap decision for us as fans.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much if Boss Lady was here, it's money talks. Pretty much you follow the money.
all the way through.
That's pretty much you would say. But this is an announcement that's happening. This is going to be ongoing in the coming months. They're going to be promoting this, but this will be in April 2027. So that was the big announcement from there. And also want to give a congratulations to the American Nightmare and Brandy Rose are celebrating their anniversary today. So we do want to give a congratulations to the couple. They said 12 or 14 years they've been together. So that's quite some time. And it's nice for him. He just had another baby. We haven't seen him on television, but we obviously know why, because he's filming a movie. Yeah. And he's supposed to be there at WrestlePalooza, but do want to give a shout out to the American Nightmare and Brandy on celebrating this milestone.
Congrats.
Yes. Congratulations to her. And also, since we're talking about Cody, why don't we just talk about SmackDown happening tonight at the top of the hour? There will be a Honey Night SmackDown watch along with the sweetest Oosh. She will be giving you the rundown on everything happening from Norfolk, Virginia, and courtesy of Nick Aldis, because he did a video earlier. We are going to see Brock Lesnar make an appearance ahead of his match at WrestlePalooza against John Cena. We're also going to have Randy Orton taking on Drew McIntyre one-on-one, settling this, having this grudge match with two of them that can't stand each other, but they're going to deck it out in the ring. And we're going to have the women's championship match, Tiffany Stratton taking on Jade Cargill. And also there was one thing that was not mentioned, and I didn't get a photo of it. Nick Aldis said Sami Zayn will be continuing his U.S. Open Challenge. All this happening and more tonight on SmackDown at 8 p.m. And Will, I just want to get your quick thoughts. Is there anything particular on SmackDown that you would like outside of your client Tiffany Stratton?
I'll put that watch down. Yeah, I will never get tired of Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre in the ring, like ever. I'll never get tired of seeing that. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also interested in what the US Open title is going to be. Like I'm looking forward to see like who is his challenger, because I think that is something that SmackDown needs. So I feel like that's a great addition to what's going on. So again, still a little bummed that you got Sami Zayn having to be mid-card, but you know, if it helps them build some prestige to that title again and gets us to be able to see more stars that aren't necessarily going to be pushed into the WWE championship picture, I'm all here for it.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the ladies, I'm very interested to see Sami Zayn's Open Challenge. Also, you know who's his opponent, Dylan? Don't you give away spoilers. But I'm really happy to see Sami Zayn. Very curious on who his opponent is going to be. Also, who knows? It may be somebody from NXT. It may be somebody we haven't seen in months due to an injury. It may be somebody from AAA that we may not even know. So that would be really awesome with that. All this and more at the top of the hour on WWE SmackDown. Make sure to check out the Honey Night SmackDown, where the sweetest Oots gives all the details all the play-by-play action and everything you need to know about SmackDown. And since we were talking about SmackDown and we talked a little bit about WrestlePalooza, ESPN schedules multiple WWE specials ahead of WrestlePalooza, and they're pretty much putting out a full promotional campaign with several WWE related shows scheduled in the week leading up to the pay-per-view. As we know, it's going to be in Indianapolis next Saturday, and pretty much preview programming begins Thursday, September 19th with ESPN WrestlePalooza special at 3 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN2. Obviously, there's going to be multiple replays across ESPN2 and ESPN News. And on Friday, September 20th, the Road to WrestlePalooza will air at 4 p.m. Eastern time, giving like storyline recaps, interviewing with the main talent who's going to be featured on the card. But as we know, WrestlePalooza will be streaming live in the U.S. on ESPN's new direct-to-consumer service as part of shifting away from Peacock, and it'll be on their app. Kickoff time is 7 p.m. And, well, I just want to get your quick thoughts on this promotion of WrestlePalooza, because it looks like they are really going all out on promotional programming-wise on trying to make this a success.
Well, it's a good thing. It's no different than what we see from other sports events like football, like NBA, and getting things prepared. So, especially for it being the first time of them having something, I think it just shows the positive relationship and just how excited ESPN is for this partnership. So I think it's just I think it's good. And I think it just, again, open up, expanding the universe to other folks that may be casual fans or may not have been introduced in the product. I think it's good to know that, hey, they're getting the word out.
Yes. I do think they're really kind of pulling the full flex on this, especially with the fact, too, this is the partnership. We knew the partnership with ESPN and WWE that's happened, and ESPN's trying to be the number one channel in all of sports all around. So I do think they're really pulling all out. I would not be surprised with Pat McAfee, leading up to that week if he does do promotions, because obviously of his ties with WWE. I would not be shocked if Good Morning Football would be putting plugs in, because we know Seth is going to be on there throughout the entire football season. So you'll probably see Seth Rollins make some plugs in. So it is going to get some coverage. Do not be shocked if you see people from the NFL be involved, or depending on the Colts, if they don't travel that weekend, they'll probably show up too. But it's shaping up to be a big event. We know some of the big matches on the card. And I don't know if we're going to watch along next week, but hopefully we will for WrestlePalooza. But it's shaping up to be a good event, and I want this to be successful.
Yeah, same. I want to see it do well. Now, if we can change where we can all view this, I would like that too.
I know. I wish I could, but money talks. Just money talks.
Yeah.
But this has been an interesting story that's been popping up all this week regarding Kyle Fletcher and Steven Richards. And apparently, this originally started when Steven Richards, he was talking about this on his YouTube channel where he was analyzing the wrestling industry, and he posted a video titling, "What is Kyle Fletcher missing?" And in the video, he says he views Kyle Fletcher as a talented performer with potential, but someone who needs more seasoning and a veteran to teach him in-ring psychology. He also added in, he looks like an eventual NXT superstar. And that was a comment that pretty much circulated on social media. And also recently speaking on the Ringer Wrestling show, Kyle Fletcher addressed the video, and he did confirm that he did watch a full clip and is open to criticism, but he questioned the motivation behind Richard's comments, which he quoted, "I think a lot of people on Twitter or whatever will just look at that one clip that gets posted. I went and I watched the full thing, everything that he said. Look, I'm open to any and all critiques. That's fine. I'm in a world where it's like everyone is allowed to have an opinion. He has an opinion on who I am and what I am as a wrestler, and that's fine." And he further explained why he felt the critique was not in good faith, taking particular issue with Richard's claim that there is no one in the AEW locker room for him to learn from, and quoted, "It just doesn't feel like it's in good faith," if that makes sense. I think a lot of those guys, they just kind of look for the buzzwords and look for the things that are going to get them clicks or whatever. Thoughts?
I don't disagree with Kyle Fletcher. I feel like it was in good spirits. You're kind of just giving average advice for a 26-year-old that's in AEW that is doing well, that is showing that he does have a very sensible ring IQ, especially for his age and what he's doing. And I think the advice you were saying with being under a tutelage and finding things, I think that's just generic advice you would give to anyone his age that is starting to get the light and the things that he's getting based off of what he's been doing in the ring. But like he said, when it starts to float away and start to become more about yourself, you start to pour that out with like the comment you said of saying there's no one back there in AEW that he can learn from. That's something I completely disagree with. Like, you're telling me Chris Jericho cannot teach this guy something. You're telling me a John Moxley, there's nothing he can learn from John Moxley, Arn Anderson. Like, what are you like?
Jerry Lynn, Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. Like, that's when it starts to become like, okay, now what is your motivation in saying this? Is this about Kyle, or is this you trying to take a dig at somebody for maybe how you're feeling currently and what's going on? And just like he had said, it's like, you know what to say to try to get clicks. And so congratulations, like, you did that. But it's just like, okay, do it with what you're really trying to say, and don't throw people in like Kyle Fletcher that doesn't have anything to do with what you're necessarily trying to get your point across. If you have a problem with AEW, say you have an issue with AEW.
It's not that hard. Oh, sorry. You can
go ahead.
No, I mean, it's not that hard. If you don't like AEW, just publicly admit it. And also, I think people need to understand Kyle, along with some of these people on the roster, they're very young. They're in their early 20s, and they're starting to learn some of this stuff. And for granted, I do have to disagree with him, because there are so many people, as we mentioned, he can learn from AEW. He can learn from Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, John Moxley. Kyle Fletcher is going to be in a match with Hangman Adam Page, who's been there from the beginning. They can also learn from Sting, because Sting is still under contract with them, even though he's retired. He can still help them out. Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, a lot of people respect him. Jerry Lynn's another one. So there's so much that there's so many angles to look at this. And I do see potential in Kyle, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I will say Don Callis, even though I call him a big fat jerk or a creep. John Callis is a really good, solid manager that he's working with. So Kyle is young. He's starting to learn, and I really do see a lot of potential, and I'm happy he is taking stride on open to being feedback and constructive criticism, because we have seen this in the past where some wrestlers are not too fond of constructive criticism. And Dylan, going back to your point, I get with people not learning about wrestling, but that's their choice. You can't force anybody you can't force them if they don't want to learn. Like, they can give people advice, but you can't force anybody.
And that's the thing. I think people got to kind of start wrapping their head around, is that wrestling isn't just wrestling anymore. Like, there are people that go in there to not be the greatest wrestler. Some of them do go in to be personalities, to learn how to portray a character that garners a response no matter what they're doing, that leads them to other opportunities. We know that that's there. That's why you have folks that's like, yo, I don't really need to learn the whole wrestling stick. I just need to be able to maneuver inside the ring. And you're going to have that. Not saying that is that the greatest outlook to have? No, but there's some people that we know, like, yo, this is just a stepping stone to get to somewhere else. And that but fortunately for us, those are the things that we as fans get to iron out and push out if that's not something that we're looking for, or if they're not doing that correctly. So that's the one thing about it, is it's like, yo, like, if you are supposed to last here and that's your thing, you better make sure you're doing it right. Otherwise, you're going to get the boot. But even for somebody like, again, a Kyle Fletcher, like, I don't watch this product and I know who Kyle Fletcher is. So then that lets you know Kyle Fletcher's doing something if I know who this kid is. And I go back and watch some of his highlights and I'm like, holy shit, this dude is dope. Like, why is he not like here or something? But they're getting him ready. But like I said, it's just one of those, like, it's so frustrating nowadays to hear people you grew up with as far as superstars and the bitterness that they carry with them. And I think that's what hurts. And the fact is of that, like, you've lost your love for this business to where it's like, yo, you have to do things like this to not feel this way. And so it's just like, okay. It's just kind of sad. It's just like, and then it shows you like what kind of person you are. So it's like, again, you don't have to like the business, every aspect of it, but it's like, yo, where's your passion for it still?
Yeah, I just think that's something that definitely doing. Like I said, Kyle Fletcher's had a lot of potential, even when I started doing watch alongs, and even when he had his feud with Will Ospreay, he's now starting to do that. I mean, he's the reigning TNT champion, and I really want to see him thrive. I just don't want them to drop the ball. I don't want them to drop the ball with Kyle Fletcher as TNT champion, because you didn't help elevate it when Daniel Garcia was champion. You didn't help elevate it when Adam Cole was champion. I don't want them to drop the ball with Kyle Fletcher, because I feel like he is doing a justice for the TNT. And also, if he's the face of TNT, you better put him on some appearances within the TNT channel. That's all I want. I want him to at least thrive. I don't even care at this point, but I really, really want this man to be on like every single program in TNT has to offer, and HBO Max.
Yeah. And that's just really coming back down now, though, to marketing, PR of the company itself. So
yeah, that's a whole conversation I'll get into, but that's a whole layer. Yeah. But yeah, Kyle Fletcher, look, he's going somewhere, and plus I will be doing a watch on for All Out next week, so hopefully he's gonna have a banger of a match with Hangman Adam Page. And speaking of AEW, because this actually happened earlier today because of Fightful, and why is my computer? Anyways, AEW signed a 5-year deal with Teg Sport, and they will continue returning to Australia. We know they will be in Australia in 2026 for Grand Slam, and also doing their first ever live house show. But also, news of the deal was reported by Wrestle Radio Australia. And one of the representatives from that saying, I was told how exciting it is from Teg Sports perspective that they got this 5-year deal with AEW. So AEW will continue to return to Australia over that 5-year period, presumably speaking about last year being the first year of the deal, 2026 being the second year, presumably 3 more years into the future of a deal between Teg Sports and AEW to bring to Australia. And the deal would run through 2029, but this is an ongoing story. And as I mentioned, they had Grand Slam Australia happen earlier this year in February. They will be back in 2026 for February 14th for Grand Slam Australia, and also Sunday, February 15th for their official house show in Australia.
Yo, what if Saudi
thoughts about?
What if Saudi Arabia brought back Sasha Banks for WrestleMania?
Oh my goodness!
Like, yo, if we just throwing money like that, like, what could we do to get Mercedes Moné to come back for one night? Like, I wonder what it would cost. Because, like, again, the Saudis get whatever they want. Like, bring Mercedes over there. I'd take that.
To Saudi?
For WrestleMania? They'll pay. Now, that's the one thing. Like, the checkbook ain't got no limit on it. So it's like, man, look, let me dream. Yeah, like Jeffrey said, let me dream.
Well, I mean, it doesn't happen. I mean, never say never, and the door is never closed.
I'm just saying.
That would break the internet.
Yes, it would. But for this particular story, again, I think it's just a good thing. AEW is in a smart position if they play it right. Like, if they can put their pride aside and be okay with being the secondary show to WWE, they have a potential to really get a lot of equity and capital into this brand to where they can start being able to be head to head with WWE, because you need an alternative brand now. That's the thing. So it's like, yo, when we can't afford to go do these things, we can't afford to go do this stuff. Hey, AEW's here and they putting on a show right now. So being able to sign, get your place established more, like in Australia, going back to Wembley, having that international crowd as well. Like, yo, just keep doing it. Keep getting these type of deals and stuff like that, and y'all are gonna be good to go. Just another smart deal for AEW.
I'm happy that they're doing that because we already know obviously they've been to London many times for Wembley Stadium. They'll be back in 2026, but this is a good opportunity for them after seeing the success that they had earlier this year with Grand Slam Australia. I am very happy to see it thrive. I would love to see some of the stars that they have in Australia be useful on promotional tours, interviews. Obviously, of course, we do have a few people from Australia like Harley Cameron, Kyle Fletcher, Dylan, even my lady Toni Storm, who Dylan does not think she's from Australia. She's from New Zealand, but she is part of it. But also it does give an opportunity for them who are from Australia, an opportunity to shine in those matches. Just give a feel for it. But I actually do like this. This is a good step in the direction for them. Really, Dylan. He rather have Kyle Fletcher on this photo than Toni Storm.
Like, that's, hey, look, he said, look, she don't represent us, man. He said she's from New Zealand. She's not us.
Yes. And I can't argue with the man that lives in Australia. Can't do that. Can't do that. But congratulations to AEW on this deal. I'm very happy for them. And I think Boss Lady, I may need to take a trip to Australia soon. Just going into there. So, of course, we do have this photo of AJ and Saraya, formerly known as Paige. This was actually an interesting story that actually popped out today, where Saraya made a guest appearance on the Busted Open Radio podcast, and she had very comments to say, and she talked about the return of AJ Lee. And obviously, we know AJ is getting ready for her big match next weekend. Saraya was asking if seeing Lee's comeback got her amped up and if it makes her want to get back into the action. And Saraya said seeing all the positive message she received in the aftermath of Lee's comeback made her emotional. She quoted saying, you know, I'm always going to have that feeling because WWE is doing amazing things right now. And you're just like, man, I miss being in the locker room. I miss being around people like Natty. I miss being around my sisters. And I miss being a part of these things. And then I watch AJ. I've watched that over and over again because she's my fairy godmother, dude. I love her so much. She's the one that kind of took me under her wing when I first came up on the roster too, and we traveled together. We had the frenemies thing, and my social media has not stopped. It has blown up. I cannot go on there without hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people doing videos like, please bring Saraya back, please bring Paige back. And I get excited because I keep forgetting. I feel like people don't like me anymore, and it feels pretty insecure, and I'm not trying to get sympathy, but it made me really emotional for the past couple of days, and I have shed some tears about it because I'm like, oh my God, people still like me and they still want me to be around. And that's probably the best feeling in the world for me. I get insecure about these things. With AJ, I would love to be her tag team partner again or run it back eventually. I'm not saying right away. She needs her moment. People are excited for her to come back. Maybe one day we'll see. And then she went on to state that she wants to start training again and bring the Paige that people saw in NXT. And she quoted saying, I know my career has been really great. It was kind of cut short with the neck and stuff like that. But now she's healthy. Now my neck is healthy. Now I'm in full 100% health and I want to start training again. I want to get in that ring and bring back the Paige that I was in NXT. Mr. NXT.
Said it before and I'll say it again. Come on home. Come on home. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on in the mama's bosom. Come on. Come on. Come on now. Come on. You already like, come on. I've said it before on this show. I have no problem saying it again. As always, man. Look, I wanted AJ. We got AJ. I need Paige back in the WWE. She deserves to be a part of what she built. Okay. I don't care what nobody want to argue. Argue with your mama. All right. There ain't no debate. That picture you showed, those are the two pillars in which the women's division stands on today. Now, everybody can, that's no disrespect to the TNA folks like Gail Kim. What's her face? I don't want to call her the heavyset black braids.
Awesome Kong.
Awesome Kong. I knew it had to do with the 8, but I was just like, it ain't the one I'm thinking of. Awesome Kong. Like, yes, they were there. They were definitely doing their thing. But like, yo, when you look at the women's division today, like you can tell these are the two women everyone mimicked. Everyone looked at. They are the blueprint of what the women's division is today. Now you can throw in, of course, the male influences like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, but it's like, yo, these are the women's division's today's godmothers. And we got AJ back. So it's like, yo, Paige, come home. We want to see women's world champion Paige, WWE women's champion Paige, WWE women's tag team champions Paige and AJ Lee. If you can still go, if you feel like, yo, your body is there, yo, give us the honor and privilege of coming home and get the run that you deserve, yo. Come the fuck home. And we are going to welcome you with open arms. The possibilities of what she could be. Yo, Paige versus Blake Monroe at NXT? Come on now. Come on,
Jacob, really? Why?
That's because Jacob don't like his hairline. That's why he said that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I would be happy to see her back. And you also have to understand, Maria, you made a comment too, saying weak. You have to understand the era they were in. They didn't have like the matches we have now, 15, 20-minute matches. And also with the fact too, you had the Divas Championship match. And also going back to your point, you had Paige, and you also had AJ. I'm also going to throw in Emma too, because Emma and Paige didn't meet. If this was kind of like the early start of the revolution, because people always want to put on Nikki Bella. No shade to her, but I always have to put a reminder in it. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't mind seeing Paige get the women's world title, the WWE women's title, the tag team titles. They were people. You have to understand, they were in an era where people thought women's matches were bathroom breaks. That's where you had give divas a chance, and that's where the women's revolution started. And the two of them started it because everybody was watching Total Divas. People wanted to see the wrestling part, and that's where AJ and Paige kind of come in, because that's where you had to do with wrestling. A lot of people, you really had to think on that, because yes, Total Divas made success on mainstream, and that's how people got into wrestling. But if you mention like every single woman that came after, I guarantee you everybody said Paige, AJ was their biggest influence. And it's kind of like, because Honey and I were talking about this, when we talk about how we got into women's wrestling, we see Trish, Lita, Victoria, Jazz, Jacqueline as our mothers. We see them as our own mothers because that's who we watched for women's wrestling. And think of every single girl out there who's watching wrestling now and they were into AJ and Paige. So that's something people really need to think about. And I would not mind seeing that. Paige versus Blake Monroe. Paige versus Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, people want to call it weak. I'm never going to call any of these places, like these things, weak, because it takes a lot to be out there. But you gotta remember at the time where this was like everyone is even saying in the comments, like where this was during their times. Like, yo, they were the anti-divas. That's exactly what they called it. They were the anti-divas, which means that you were the next step in what this needed to be. This was the next step in what needed to happen, what needed to shape up. And the people that did that were these two. They were the perfect blend, just like I talked about with Dominic Mysterio, and we'll get into that. They were the perfect blend of women who actually wrestle, not just, and I don't mean like can wrestle, like actually can wrestle. Like, yo, put me in a match with any of your top dudes, and I will go up in there and give them that work. But not only that, they were also visually appealing like you would need for a diva to be. So they completely changed the game by saying we're not going to be like that. And then to be honest with you, a lot of these other women were that too, just didn't get a chance to be able to be that. Because I promise you, Michelle McCool, if she was able to be here today, would have been fire. Mm-hmm. Imagine if Natalya was Natty then. Mm-hmm. She would have been incredible. Beth Phoenix really getting to be powerhouse Beth Phoenix. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they didn't have wrestlers there during that time. It was a theme in which WWE creatives had these women in where it's either you going to adapt to it or you going to be in the back of catering. And these two women had decided that, hey, I'm not going to do that. So when I go out there, I'm going to show who I am. I'm going to do what I do, especially being from an NXT standpoint to where I can come up, and I'm going to show them what's what. And luckily for us as a crowd, we got behind it because it was just at a very monumental moment where they weren't bathroom breaks anymore. It wasn't bra and panty matches anymore. It was actually wrestling matches. And now you started to get to see like, oh, there's some chicks on here that really can go. Mm-hmm. And then let's not forget when it did start to become that, both of them were carrying some of the best storylines during the time in everybody. I don't mean just women, in men and everything. Like, yo, AJ Lee's psychotic run, the two of them going at the frenemies route, like, yo, you couldn't wait to watch Monday Night Raw to see that. You couldn't wait to go see on SmackDown when they was getting their shit going. How many times did they had a conversation during that time of like, bruh, they need to get rid of this Diva title and bring back the Women's Championship? Mm-hmm. That was a conversation during that time because of these two women. And then you finally got the hashtag give divas a chance. Like, yo, you would not have all of these women y'all are sitting here cheering for now if it was not for these two saying, yo, I'm going to go against the machine no matter what they say. And both of them deserve to be in the house that they have built and deserve to get their flowers, get the accolades, get included in the lineage that they started. So, Paige, if you watching this, if you don't think we don't want you here, you are, with no disrespect, you are sadly fucking mistaken. Because we are anticipating the day that we hear the sound of that raven and them fucking that purple pea pop up on the Titantron. I forgot who said that. I'm going to lose my shit. Mm-hmm. Come home. Please come home. And Jacob, go follow the set of Legos. Go follow the set of Legos, sir. Come say that with your face being shown. Instead of type in the comments.
Because what? We haven't seen him in more than 63 days?
More than 63 days. Yo, it's in here since 63 months. Last night.
I was just gonna.
I say, sit there, all like flawless victory. Flawless fucking victory.
Oh my God. Oh jeez, Jacob, really, I can't win.
But again, how many people we just saw that did that, left, came back, and then done better?
That is true.
When Daniel Bryan came back and he was the Earth champion, he was not great. That was not Occupy Daniel Bryan that we knew. And what happened? He left, came to AEW. What did he do? Killed it.
American Dragon.
Yeah, killed it. So we've seen where they came back. Wasn't that great? Left, came back again. Another one, Shawn Michaels. And that's the GOAT. So, hey, third time's a charm, right?
I'll give you another one, Nigel McGuinness. When he left, because he was so good on commentary, and then when he was in TNA, because that's when he had hepatitis. And when he came back to AEW, look at where he is right now. But before we get to our final story of the night, because we got both predictions and we got SmackDown tonight, we do want to talk to you about this archive that we're doing at Women's Wrestling Talk. And this is to at least give every single archive we have of women's wrestling, no matter how big or small. And feel free to support us because every contribution helps.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches January 1st, 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might say he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Every little bit helps because making sure the women archive's alive and well. Dylan, really? I did not put his medical records out there. It was the truth. If you watch TNA, you know exactly. Oh, and this is the photo right here.
The excitement on their faces going to Saudi Arabia. The pure excitement of how thrilled everyone is to be going to do a Saudi Arabia show. Look how excited Liv Morgan is about that. Look how excited our world champion is.
Look at Logan Paul.
Look how excited Shawn Michaels and Charlotte can't wait to be in Saudi Arabia.
Oh boy.
Oh. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just saw that and I was like, that should also be displayed on this episode.
No, it needs to because we were talking about at the top of the hour. It's going to be talked about up until 2027. So you'll be talking more about this. But we're just wrapping our final one because, as you know, we have bold predictions ahead of Worlds Collide AAA. And I believe we do have a watch along happening tonight after Honey Night SmackDown. So once Honey Night SmackDown is over, you can actually head in there. Just a quick reminder, Penta will be making an appearance at Worlds Collide. Yep, we don't know who his opponent is, but they did set in vignettes and promos that he will be there. So that and before we even get into our bold predictions, we have another co-host on our panel, and he has taken a break from vacation, by the way, and it's one of our beloved hosts, Jacob, on the call. Sir.
Are you back in the trap house again?
So, one, I was here like 2 weeks ago. This look like a trap house. I feel like this is a relatively decent looking apartment.
Hey man,
I've been here since the last 63 days.
Be going very well for you.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not put my business out like that.
Well, how are you
Let's not put
today
my
on this
business out like
Friday?
that, please and thank you. Oh, I am glorious. Word to the great Bobby Roode. So the only reason I bothered to take time to come here is because somebody said, say with my face here. So I'm here, say his name, and he appears. I did this before Joe Hendry, so I would like my gimmick back, Mr. Hendry, first and foremost. Second of all, I said what I said. Last time we saw Saraya, Paige, whatever you want to call her, she didn't look that great. And here's my biggest thing. Stop with the homecoming calls. Stop with the going into the nostalgia well. AJ Lee, great, cool. It's been over a decade. This one makes sense. Stop being like, oh, let's bring so and so back just because. For what? We're taking up another spot. You got a deep roster that you need to figure out. Hey, can you sink? Can you swim? Can you cook? Can you boil water? What can you do? So, hey, Soraya, thank you. We appreciate it. Maybe if we can find a way to justify it, we'll give you a 30-day run. But like, we don't need to keep coming back to the well of, hey, come home, come home. Mercedes, that makes sense. You're still in your prime. You are still wrestling on a regular basis. We would love to have you back because it moves the needle. Soraya, Nikki Bella. Okay, great. Like, cool. We got a Bella back. Who cares? Stop with the nostalgia acts. Like, it's TKO. TKO is going to do everything to move the needle and move money. So stop. Like, come on. We got too much talent, too many women to stop relying on old acts. And it goes for the men too. And you said Brian didn't look that great. No, Brian looked good. As the Earth champ, getting stacked with Edge on his way out. Brian looked good his whole run. Nigel, we're trying to figure out why WWE never put Nigel in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He's looked good, limited use. But if the last time we saw you, you wasn't looking like you looked in your quote unquote prime, stay home, dog. The game's passed you by. We thank you for your service. Stay home. We don't need you. Last time we saw Paige at WWE, she was running with Asuka and Kyrie, and like, I don't need that shit again. It ain't doing nothing. You ain't adding nothing. Now, Paige wants to go to NXT, run with one of these girls, put her over that way? Sure. But again, do we need it when we got more women that we got to figure out, hey, can you sink? Can you swim? You got old girl in Evolve, the women's champ. She coming. Why are we slowing down progress to bring somebody else in?
So, I'm gonna ask you to take a step back from the stove because clearly the fentanyl got you high as hell right now. So whatever dope you cooking. First of all, Paige ain't a nostalgia act because she only stopped wrestling 2 years ago. So she was already still active. So for you to say
a nostalgia act.
She's not. She's not.
Yes,
she's just a legend. Nostalgia is the Jannetty boys coming back. That's a nostalgia act. Ric Flair is a nostalgia act. That's what a nostalgia act is. When you are 30 years out of your stuff, that's when you're a nostalgia act.
Nah, that's a disagreement.
And
But
if that's the case, if you're saying that, Daniel Bryan is a nostalgia act, according to your logic.
No real argument there. Except Bryan stayed active enough. There was no gaps. But here's the thing. There
were gaps. What do you mean there were gaps? He got injured. There were gaps.
Here's the thing that you're forgetting. If you bring Paige back to WWE, let's take in consideration that 80% of WWE fans don't watch AEW. That's a fair 70-80, we'll say.
Okay.
She's the nostalgia act to them. She is from a bygone era, a long era that we would like to forget. She played a part in shifting the culture, but you are still a nostalgia act. You were from the Divas era, the start of the women's revolution, but you got lapped and ran circles around when Sasha, Charlotte, and company pulled up. You would fall under a nostalgia act. You might be a young nostalgia act. I'm not calling you Ric Flair, Undertaker.
I don't think you know what a nostalgia act is. I don't think you know what a nostalgia act is. Her last appearance in WWE was 2018. And then you had the pandemic era. And then during that pandemic era, she was injured. So you have 2 to 3 years of being injured as the reason why she's not there. When she was not injured, she came back to AEW to have a career. So this person has been an active person. Just because someone does not watch one of the products does not turn them into a nostalgic act. So her being able to come back for that purpose. It doesn't though. Because if 2018 is not that far from where we are today, so that doesn't make sense.
A WWE fan,
for a WWE fan, are you telling me if that music hits that it's not going to garner a reaction?
Everybody gets a pop. Everybody that
Everybody
had a
doesn't
name
get a
gets a
pop.
pop.
Everybody doesn't get a pop because Tyler Breeze didn't get a pop on NXT.
No, we
know that's-
didn't.
Everybody that had a worthwhile name gets a pop. She had a worthwhile name. She will get a pop. No, but
Tyler,
here's, I
Tyler
believe
Breeze was on TV frequently, did not get a pop.
you saying Tyler
So you
Breeze is the
can't
level
say
of star that
everybody
Paige
gets a
is,
pop.
that had a worthwhile name. Tyler Breeze, as much as I love Prince Pretty, Fashion Police, and everything he's done, he ain't holding the candle to Soraya in terms of popularity. We did a
Not
movie
saying that
about
he is.
Soraya's family.
Not saying that he
But
is.
you can't. His name is not that big to WWE
Understood.
fans.
I'm just combating
Kevin
the thing of you
Nash,
saying that everyone gets a pop. Everyone doesn't get a pop.
Mm-mm.
I believe it was Kevin Nash that made this
Nechen's
statement.
U.S. title match did not get a pop.
Every return gets a pop. But here's the point. I believe it was Kevin Nash made this point. Now, okay, cool. You got the whole company pop. That's great. Check back with me in 3 weeks to 2 months.
And
That tells you how we really feel about you.
And you're telling me the ring IQ that Paige has, the history that Paige has, the history of what she could teach a lot of these people in this company, you're telling me would not be welcome.
Then go take your ass to the PC and coach.
To line her up with Nikki Bella, even though Nikki Bella isn't as strong in ring performance wise, the knowledge she contains of being able to be a superstar is something to have there, especially in this age with the women's division. So to not bring them back as if it's some charity case sounds like some bullshit to me. When it comes to
I'm not arguing that. I said, don't bring them back and put them on my TV. Don't give them run when we have women that are here waiting for that spot.
Why would you not give them a run?
Why? For what?
For what reason not? For what reason not?
Example.
Because their nostalgia, they don't deserve to be on TV. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying that we can bring nostalgia. There's room for nostalgia on TV. However, look at what you have. You have a very stacked roster. Why am I going to insert something and slow down the progress here?
Why would it slow down the progress, though? What
happened to Lyra? Where's Lyra? What happened? Where's Lyra? We have Nikki Bella she was chasing Becky Lynch.
What happened?
For what? What's the point of that?
Okay. To your point, but what happened before that happened? Wasn't there a stipulation where she can't go for the title anymore?
If Becky was the champion,
right? So that has nothing to do with Nikki. That's not that's not Nikki taking a spot from Lyra. And if anything, what happened with Lyra did exactly what we needed it to do because it got her over with the crowd. Because if correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't she just on Monday Night Raw going up
she was
Rodriguez and put on one of the best matches on that card that night?
Right, but
again, where is it that
we still have Nikki on TV? Nikki is still on TV.
And so Nikki doesn't bring in numbers.
Nikki's time.
So Nikki's not bringing in numbers, is what you're saying. It's a waste of time to have Nikki over there, even though her numbers and segments are showing that. Her merch sales are showing that they want her there.
What master are you serving? I am not here to serve the master of numbers. TKO is, as we could tell, because we got Manny in Saudi. TKO is here, the master of numbers, and the money talks, which is why Cena's retiring in DC and not Boston. I hear that. My argument is you have too deep of a women's division, too talented of a women's roster to keep relying or pulling back old names. AJ Lee makes perfect sense. Unless you can find a spot for Paige to make sense, why? Because same thing with Nikki Bella. Why? Other than to move numbers and move merch. And guess what, doggy? You gonna move numbers and
that's just that again, that's just that point. But because of that, how much now more are we seeing of Asuka and Kyrie? Because of the people that you're saying of that, now we got to see Maxine Dupree have an intercontinental match on Raw. So you're saying it as if this is 2010 or 2009 when someone comes back and everyone gets shoved down. But clearly we're seeing them working with other people to put them on. Because correct me, the first singles match Asuka's had since she came back was with who? Nikki Bella.
It was Nikki.
And who went over? Asuka, showing how strong she's putting over. Because again, as to your point, if it was a push everybody back, they'd have made Nikki win that match. And they didn't. Even so with the IC title match, it was originally supposed to be on Monday Night Raw, but because of the John Cena thing, they moved it to Clash of Paris. So again, I think I understand where you're coming from, but I think you're also missing the point of where we now have such a stacked division of the point to where you have people who want to come back to help elevate it, not take it over.
I didn't say to take over. I said you are taking a spot. Does not mean you are taking over. You could much rather explain to me why you can't flip that and put Oscar in the Nikki spot and use what we got last, Maxine Dupree, for example. It works just as well.
But we had it.
All you're doing.
But we got it. That's what I'm saying. We got it. Maxine Dupree had a title match with Becky Lynch.
What I'm saying is with the role of Oscar versus Nikki, why is Nikki in that spot? Why not throw Maxine and make Oscar the vet? Do something with that. You can look good in losing. That is my argument of why are we steady using these people when you have other people. You don't do house shows for no damn reason. So like, yeah, you got a multi-thousand warehouse.
You still have house shows because
few far in between.
You few and far in between, but you do still have house shows. So we don't want to make it
mostly do them fair. You mostly do them. We're on your European tour, and it's mostly an NXT loop, and you throw in a few main roster stars. But the point is, you're not doing house shows at the clip that you used to do house shows.
Right.
Which, if you still took this approach and you were still doing house shows, then yeah, I know Maxine can get some work. Used to be with Diamond. Ivy now can get some work. All these women can get some work. Now we are fighting for a limited TV amount of time. We got enough quote unquote vets on the roster that we don't have to keep using these old names from the past. That is my whole entire argument. You're great to move the needle. You're great to move merch, but come on, we could do this a better way. But we're serving the master of numbers.
Okay, but do you though? Because correct me if I'm wrong. If you look on the Raw roster, every woman is being featured that's on the current roster. There's not been a Monday where you don't see Oscar, right? Who's currently on the Monday Night roster. Io Sky, who's currently on the Monday Night roster. You see segments with Ivy Now, who's currently on the roster. Kairi Sane, currently on the roster. Lyra Valkyria, Maxine Dupree, Natalya, Nikki Bella, Roxanne, Stephanie McCurt. All of those are the current Raw roster, and all of them are displayed, with including Nikki being there. So again, what space and who is she taking from? And
the
what
space is you're there, and I don't necessarily need you there. Is the point? It feels like, hey, here's your moment to give you another run because you feel like you can run with these girls now, or you didn't have quote unquote competition to run with. But like, I don't care. You had your moment. You had your time. We appreciate it. Sit back and let's build something up. Let's move somebody else into these spots. Let's go find the next Nikki Bella. I understand that you can say, hey, we're all being featured. They're not taking time. But if I'm giving you a 10-minute match, I can give that 10-minute match to somebody that really needs these reps. All right, let me just make sure. Let me see. I know
but
what
again,
I got in Nikki Bella.
How do you know those reps are not being given behind the scenes? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're only pointing it to a part of the televised form, which again, I understand where you come from. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think your perspective of it is very outdated and from where we are today, because there's a lot of people that can learn from Nikki in different aspects. Again, not the strongest in the ring. We understand there's a lot of stuff that they can learn from that. There's also too a lot of stuff that can be seen from her just doing her promo work and being out there. With Paige, it's no different. You have people who do need those opportunities because, again, even going back to somebody that didn't need to do that, Becky Lynch becoming NXT Women's Champion. She didn't have to become champion, but she went there to put reps in to put other people on, which is why you now notice Lyra Valkyria, which is why you have the strap on Tiffany Stratton, because of being able to have people who have more knowledge, who's been here longer than them, to help them. Just because you haven't seen Saraya in ring for a couple of years, once again, does not make her a nostalgia act. Give me 25 years.
Audience, it does.
It doesn't, though. It doesn't, because we're not in a newer enough era to not remember her. And the fact that we're in social media keeps her relevant. That's still there. People are still talking about it.
Relevancy and nostalgia are subjective, and we can agree on that much as far as otherwise
It's not.
We'll split.
It's
It
not.
is.
It's
It
not.
is.
Nostalgia is what nostalgia is.
But
It is something that
move
is
that point to
outdated.
the side. No, nostalgia is not always outdated.
Well, speaking of nostalgia, we do have another official that's joining us, and
say his name and he appears. I believe it
said.
Am I late to the party? Am I late to the party?
You just showed up on time.
Because I'm going to slide right out. You were perfectly on time because I'm about to slide out of here. So
we're not celebrating. We're not celebrating.
Celebrating what?
Yes. We celebrate.
What?
We celebrating.
What are we celebrating?
We celebrating. Y'all know we celebrating.
Listen, you wasn't here when I said it, man. But I was like, yo, in 2027, with the money they got, we could be going.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, let me dream. Let me dream.
Well,
you know what I'm saying, man? Like,
funny,
you know what type of bag they're gonna have? We buying conglomerates. We buying all types of stuff.
Funny because she was at New York Fashion Week today. Second time she was in New York Fashion Week.
I mean, can you expect anything else from, the greatest women's wrestler right now? Fashionable
and highest paid.
Highest paid. I wonder if she fashionably made the belts into something when she went up there.
Well, I didn't see the full clip, but that would be really interesting.
That would be cool.
That would be interesting. But we had
this is a men's large, Dylan.
Well, the Timeless Elite's got the keys today, and we had a very interesting conversation because we were just talking about Worlds Collide because we were giving our bold predictions, and as I mentioned, Penta will be making an appearance. We don't know who his opponent's going to be, but he will be making an appearance on that. So very excited that Penta will be back at Worlds Collide, and we also have the tag team titles on the line. The New Day taking on Psycho Clown and Pagano.
That's random.
Very random. I'll say it like I said on kayfabe, because they are newly crowned champions. I don't see them switching it over just yet. But my heart is in full support. So I'm going with them, but my heart is in full support of the New Day because the amount of trolling that they would do.
Oh my God.
AAA tag team champion.
Can you imagine?
Incredible. It would be
the morning of the tag team division. Can you imagine doing? And you know what? It would give those AAA tag titles a platform on SmackDown while they can just continue to slander the men's tag team division in WWE.
Yeah. On Raw. Monday Night Raw.
On Raw.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because I would not be shocked if Grayson Waller was there since he's with the New Day. I'm gonna say.
You seen his Twitter?
Who?
Grayson. He already tweeted out like it's great to see the AAA talent backstage, but it was all mascots.
Grayson.
It was just a group of like mascots.
Yo, Grayson, bro. I don't know why they don't pull the trigger on him as a solo star. I don't know why. Like, he is the heel we need right now.
Like, he does make a good heel. He really does.
I don't know why they keep putting him in groups and everything right now. Like, bro, let that dude just run.
And he's having a show on NXT on Tuesday.
That's how I'm like, so y'all utilize him. So it's like, what we doing, man?
I'm actually gonna pick the still tag team champion Psycho Clown Apagano. I mean, it's gonna be a fun match, but that I want to see more of that. And also, it could be an interesting rivalry because I feel like it's not the last time we see both of these teams. And plus the interactions, it would be fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fun match. This is gonna be a really fun match to watch.
It's gonna be a very fun match. And we also have the Boat, Natalia, in a number one contenders match against Fabi Apache. I hope I said this right.
Fabia. Yeah. But I had Honey tell us say it for us last night, so now
of shows. The Boat, is that the best of all time? What I see before me is the Battle of Canada, the Fighting Canucks. Let's see just who her opponent is, and it's Italian.
Yo, that's so cringe, man.
That's like cold-blooded.
That was just like 3 shots up like Natty. But that's her fault. Like, if the shades didn't come on, like, I'm gonna walk off. 3 times like, you gonna hand the shades to them, they don't want it. You go for the hot, like, yo, clearly this child don't fuck with you. Clearly. If she was heel, I'd have shot the finger at that little girl and walked on. I think we talked about it last night, though. Depending on which one show up. If it's Natalia, Fabia winning. If it's Natty, I'm going for Natty.
Yeah, if she's doing the low-key legend gimmick, then this might be the first time you see it. I guess you can call AAA a big platform now that they have the WWE funding. So with that type of production and that setting, I think it would be awesome to start trending that way. And if as we go along, I can see Natty doing more mid-card work like that with inside like Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, and we said that she's had a lot of beef with the current Queen of Queens champion. So I think that just helps fuel that beef more between the two of them. But like we said, it depends on which one's coming out.
Because I need the Natty that was at Bloodsport. I would love to see her back. And also with the fact, too, not only the reigning women's champion, but also the referee. That sleazeback of a referee. Because I know Natty wants to beat the crap out of him. So I'm picking the low-key legend Natty to win. I just want to see her get on that main roster. I just want to see Natty, low-key legend, on that roster.
Yeah.
And we actually have an 8-man tag team match because there was a lot of changes happening. We have La Parca, Octagon Jr., Laredo Kid, and Mascarita Sanglada taking on Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, Lince Dorado, and Mini Absimo Negro.
Anything with La Parca in it, I'm on that side. Wherever La Parca goes, I go. I'm choosing that team.
I thought, what's my man's name? I'm pretty sure La Parca got replaced in this match.
Yeah, they had to make some changes because somebody was supposed to be in it, and then somebody had to
he actually got replaced by Laredo Kid, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh well, his spirit is still with that team, so I'm gonna stick with them. And Octagon Jr. I like him too. I like him. Now, if they replace him, they're not gonna do that because he's too big for that. So never mind. But if Big Grande was to grace our, but he too much of a star for this match. That's too much. That's too much. None of the team would be able to handle it.
We will talk about that in the main event because he may make an appearance in the main event. We'll talk about that shortly. But I'm actually going to go with Octagon Jr. and La Parca. I have seen them on the last event, and it was really great. And I'm happy Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro are getting some reps on AAA. It would be nice of them to see them on the main roster for the tag team titles, but that's a whole conversation on there.
Oh, they're saying it was Nino that got replaced, not La Parca.
Oh, Nino? Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it would be nice to see Joaquin Wilde and Cruz back on Raw for the tag titles, but that's a conversation we will have. And we have a fatal 4-way match for the, let me rephrase this, Canadian championship match.
No.
No?
It's for the Latin American Championship.
Oh,
so
really?
It's Dr. Wagner Jr.'s title that's on the line.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So
Yeah.
Dr. Wagner, Dragon Lee, Ethan Page, and JD McDonough.
Now I know they never gonna do this, but again, let your councilman dream. Ethan Page wins.
Oh my God.
Gets called up to SmackDown, wins the U.S. title in an open challenge against Sami Zayn. Do you know what it was like to say he has a championship for every country in the northern continent? Canadian, U.S., and Mexico.
Oh my God.
The trolling Ethan Page would do if he had them 3 titles. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But I feel like Wagner's gonna sneak in and pin JD McDonough.
Yep. Said.
I'm gonna take Dragon Lee in this match. I think they're starting to slowly do more with him. And he's kind of getting heated back up. I think it'd be a good way to him, not just to get reps, but for him to actually have gold again.
I think I'm also going to pick Dragon Lee. He definitely had a showing, especially the match he had with both JD and Finn on Raw. And he's now starting to show a lot, and especially with the fact, too, aligning himself with AJ Styles. That's also a plus, too. So I wouldn't mind seeing Dragon Lee become the new champion. And we have this mixed tag match. Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana taking on Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez.
First and foremost, I know what y'all trying to do here, man. Y'all didn't seen these political collaborations. You trying to paint us against each other. We're not doing that. We can celebrate both sides here.
No. And just to be fair, if y'all watched Kayfabe last night, I was being non-biased, and I gave my prediction. I said, "Yo, Lola Vice is going for that title at No Mercy. They didn't pick up the victory at Triple Mania. This is going to be Lola and Mr. Iguana's night. No disrespect to my cut, but Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana are probably going to pick up the victory in this match, with Finn getting pinned, not my client."
That's what I would say here. I think the storytelling they're saying right now, because I'm pretty sure Judgment Day won the last tango between these parties, where that's when we saw Demonita for the first time.
Triple Mania. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that Lola or Roxy, I don't see either of them taking a pin. It's either going to be Finn pinning Iguana, but since I just put Layeska up on WWE Shop earlier this week, I think that's a way to kind of keep building this character into mainstream media. So I will also pick Lola and Mr. Iguana.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Lola and Mr. Iguana because with Lola, she has a big match at No Mercy. And plus, it does give her a lot of momentum as well. And plus, Mr. Iguana is just Mr. Iguana.
You don't need no momentum. Did you see the package Tuesday night?
Yeah,
I saw it on
Tuesday.
Laredo dropped the promo of the night. Did you see it?
We did.
I have it on good authority. They're trying to sign the whole family to the WWE, including myself.
Hey, but listen, you ain't nothing wrong with a little more carne asada thrown on the grill, though.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, listen. We already know it's going to be a feast, but hey, let's put a little bit more on there, man, and keep this train going.
More to this story. John, really, Jacob?
You understand if we had the Vice sisters in WWE? Talking about some Bellas, Vice sisters.
With the mayor of Vice City as their manager? Come on now.
That would actually make sense. That would make sense.
That's my pick, though. It's gonna be a good match, though. I hope Finn brings out the puppet again.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
Make that affordable, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I didn't mind wanting to get that, but I ain't paying $80 for it.
Yeah.
No, $80 is too expensive. And the main event, Vikingo taking on Dirty Dom.
I say it again. If you want your product to make sense, AAA. invest in the scumbag era. Okay. It's just like John Cena's retirement tour. The scumbag era can only be here for so long. Get down with the get down and put the strap on Dominic. Dom 2 belts. Yo, him and his ego won't fit in no arena on Monday Night Raw.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's true.
Make it happen.
I need Dom to be double champion. I mean, could you imagine being champion on the week of WrestlePalooza and just showing up?
Yes. No AJ to stop this. Yo, let it happen. This is what the people want, man. They literally booing Vikingo right now. Like,
yeah, they are. And plus,
Dom.
And plus, who knows? We may see an appearance from El Grande in that match.
Listen.
So I think we're going to see one of two appearances in this match. And here's why I'll be the pessimist. And I think that they're going to continue to force feed the Vikingo, even though the Mexican audience has seemingly turned against it because of how they did Del Rio. I feel like tonight is the night that we actually see a return of Del Rio in this match. Maybe something behind the scenes worked out with WWE and the brand. Or I think this is where Penta makes his appearance and gets involved in this match. Only because, like, I'm thinking of the promo this past Monday, and it was hilarious. I don't think we talked about it, but he went to Adam Pearce and said, when I debut, everybody loved Penta. Why you don't love Penta? To Adam Pearce. I thought it was funny as hell. But I think this is another way to showcase Penta to this audience because he's so over on main roster already. Why not bring more of that here? And if you look at not the promos, look at the interviews that Penta does. He hates Dominic Mysterio. I can legit see him being the antithesis to like stopping him from even getting that accolade and doing a one-off thing there.
Especially if Grande come out and he comes to like assist Vikingo, that may even put Vikingo back in good standings with AAA.
Yeah. But this is going down tonight. We'll be having a watch along later tonight after Honey Night SmackDown. So those are our bold predictions for Worlds Collide. And before we get out of here, is there anything you guys want to talk about before we get out of here?
I just want you to remember the faces that were made by those WWE stars when they announced Saudi Arabia. That I just want y'all to remember the faces in the back. It told us.
We'll talk more during the watch along later. I'm still holding out hope that I'll get energy and just drive to Vegas right now, but we'll see.
No, you not.
I'm not. But
it's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. You will legit miss that show.
Yep.
I might.
You will get there at the last match and be pissed.
I'd be happy if I just saw Lola though. That's all that matters to me.
He's like, that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But before we get out of here, I mean, obviously we had an interesting debate and you need a boost on your coffee. Need a coffee that won't powerbomb your sleep schedule. Savorista's got you. It's premium craft decaf and half calf coffee. Bold flavor, no jitters. Made from high altitude Arcbia beans. Naturally decaffeinated with no harsh chemicals. Bourbon pecan decaf. Minted mocha. And that's pretty good as well. So make sure to use our exclusive code for 25% off at savorista.com. The code is 691793. Again, the code is 691793 to get an added coffee boost to kick off your weekend. And this pretty much wraps up our Friday edition of WWT Live. And this is a time where we get to tell the people on where they can find us. And I will start with Ced.
As usual, I don't want to be found. I don't want or need your follows. I tend to lurk in the shadows. But if you must know, you can catch me occasionally on Monday nights, always on Wednesdays, and sometimes on Fridays. Just like the WWE is getting ARAB money for the rest of the year, you will see me rock a turban on screen. Because I feel like it's only appropriate until we get to 2027. That is all for now.
Where can the people find you?
They can find me in a certain place, but before I do that, I just want to make sure that one of my clients is celebrated, man. 4 years ago today, my client Roxanne Perez became the first ever Ring of Honor's women's champion. So I just wanted to make sure that that was celebrated here on WWT, man. You know, as she's getting ready to perform tonight over at AAA, just continuing the show while she is the prodigy. But and also too, if y'all will go to my YouTube channel, Will Farrell, PHARAOH. I only need about maybe 13 more hours of watch time of my content so I can get monetized. So again, if you can that are watching this, just go to YouTube before you getting ready to go to bed. Just click play. You can turn the sound down, whatever. Just, you know, please get those hours up so I can get monetized so we can be able to put more stuff towards the content that are being made, like the Kayfabe podcast. That's all I'm asking. I just need 13 more hours of watch time. So if you can, help your councilman out so he does not have to go sell ass on the street, or even worse, have to be going to get a 9-to-5 and stuck in the office, because office councilman is not a fun person to be around.
And also we get to see him to watch alongside NXT again.
You damn right. I can afford CW since it's nowhere and doesn't want to display anywhere except on cable. Fucking CW. NXT is a movie.
Well, the people can find me chirping periodically Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on WWT. You know, Wednesdays, Timeless Elite Wednesdays, because you get to do it with me. I do watch alongs on Wednesdays, and it's a 3. We're not having this discussion. Wednesday will be a special 3 hour of Timeless Elite Wednesday, because they will be in. Oh Lord. Oh, you are so wrong.
Now I'm on air, bitch. Blonde hair, bitch. Beat you so bad. Get a massage chair, bitch. Ugly ass bitch. You look like a bitch. Shout to the crew. Leave them shook like a bitch.
HR.
You interrupted me first.
I was silent.
No, you weren't.
I didn't play the song. I just did this.
You are such a damn liar. I do have the keys, Dylan, but let's get back into this, because the people can find me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on WWT Live. Don't listen to him. Wednesdays is Timeless Elite Wednesdays, and you get to spend it with me. And there will be a watch along for All Out in Toronto. Make sure to follow my social channels at CourtneyNJ11, where I do have content that will be posted. Make sure to check out my post yesterday, where I highlighted that yesterday was the final day of AEW residency in 2300 Arena, and do have a lot of content happening, even in life outside of the wrestling world. I do. But also make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling, because we got a lot of shows happening in the fall and holiday season. Myself and Honey will be at 90s Con later this month, and very excited to see stars from the 90s that we beloved and everything else. Shout out to everybody in the chat, our producer from the future, Jillian, Jeffrey, Boza, Special Little Nobodies, Maria, even Jacob, who appeared on there, Christopher Leclerc. Thank you guys for joining on the special edition. You already know. And feel free to check out Honey Night SmackDown happening tonight. We also do have a watch along for Worlds Collide happening after Honey Night SmackDown, and also make sure to check the rest of the panel out on WWT After Dark. What topics are going to be discussed? I don't even know, but thank you guys for joining on this special edition of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. And let me change the outro for this. Okay, here we go.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.